What's going on, guys? Sorry it's been a little late here. I'm a little behind here today, but this is something very cool for me. I'm sitting here at the house and Corey here pulls up. And I'm like, there's an officer pulling from my house. I'm like, crap, what'd I do now? What did I do something wrong with the car? Yeah, I'm under arrest. I did something wrong with my car. But it just turns out Corey happened to be in the area. He's patrolling the Waynesboro-ish area, and he's a car enthusiast. And went by, has been watching the videos for, I guess, a little while now.
Yeah, also long subscribe.
And actually, I let him talk about his car here a little bit. He's got you guys got a WRX, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's got a 2016 WRX, and it's got all the bells and whistles, all that good stuff. This is awesome for me to see. That obviously,
it's awesome for me to see these cars.
Like I told you guys, I love seeing fans stop by and like do this kind of stuff. It makes it even cooler. I mean, sounds really cheesy, but it's a cop. Like, how cool is that? So this makes it even that much better for me. What would make you say that? Why would you watch the channel? What brings you to the channel? Is it the MR2, the Supra, or just everything in general? What brings you to the channel itself?
The Supra got my attention first. Well, actually, what got my attention first, I saw a Supra channel or Supra video, and I think you're going up 316. I was like, man, that road looks really familiar. And I started following you some more, and I was like, you know, this guy's a local guy. That's pretty awesome. Man,
yeah.
The Supra, I want to learn more about it. And then, of course, I saw the car at Cars and Coffee back in April, and the Supra's always, like I told you earlier, Supra's just always been one of my loved it ever since childhood.
Sure. No, I mean, same for me.
I'm a GTR fanboy now. Of course, I love my WRX. I'm always going to be a GTR fanboy like a lot of people out there, but the Supra's always had some place special for me, just because it was my favorite car growing up.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is awesome that that someone follows and actually stops by like this. I appreciate you coming by, man. Hey, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Guys, obviously, I don't mind some people stopping by. Like, this is fine. I don't want a million people. Like, I've had a couple people show up, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm leaving my house.
I already told me you can kick me out anytime you
exactly. Want. But I do enjoy it. Like, this is awesome to see people show up, and it just makes it a little bit cooler that he is a cop. I mean, that's cool, right? And I feel safe. Now I don't have to worry about things and hoodlums coming by.
That's a question I get too. People always ask me, like, some people know that I'm a state trooper, and they're like, oh yeah, you drive a WRX. I wouldn't expect somebody like you to drive a car like that. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm a person too. Like, I love cars. You know, I have interest in cars too, just like everybody else. So we're all people.
Right. Exactly. We're all human beings. We still, I mean, just because he's a cop or just because I'm an engineer, I mean, we have lives outside of work. It's just like anything. This is your job. This is what you clock in and do your job. Now, their job is a lot harder, a lot more stressful than the rest of us.
Sometimes
but,
it is, yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day, it's still their job, and they have lives outside. They have family, they have kids, they have hobbies, just like me and you. So thank you again, Corey. I do appreciate you stopping by, man.
Absolutely.
This is the cool thing, guys. I can't believe someone stopped by like this. Well, let's go on to the next part of the day now. As you guys can tell, I'm in different clothing once again. I just wanted to say, just before I go on to other subjects here today, Corey, thank you very much, buddy, for stopping by. It was very awesome. I do horrible at impromptu. Like, he showed up and I was like, almost like a little kid, like excited seeing someone new, kind of meeting somebody. It's cool, he's a cop. It just was really neat. So I was kind of like all over the place. I do really, really bad with impromptu and working with other people. It's different when you're talking into a random camera and stuff, and there's no one around and there's no one there to judge you, but I get really nervous still when there's other people around, and I don't know, I'm like a little kid, so I get very uneasy. So hope he didn't get a little freaked out from that, but whatever. Corey was a very cool guy. It's cool that he's into cars. He has a WRX, just like, well, a lot of us have cool cars. So yeah, thank you very much, buddy. I do appreciate you stopping by. Now we're back to the car, and I gotta put the wheels back on. I was hoping to put the bumpers and stuff back on first, but I'm having the garage doors fixed in my house. Unfortunately, when they built the house, they put the wrong garage doors in. Since I have 9-foot doors instead of like a traditional 7 or 8-foot door, the doors are too damn big. And yeah, so the curvature, I guess, here or whatever needs to be, I think it's like 18 inches or something, needs to be something like 25 inches, I don't know, something like that, to fix the issue. When they're going up and down, it like goes like just hops horrible. So I need to go ahead and put the wheels and tires back on this, move this up because they're gonna have to take down all the railing and stuff. I'm probably actually gonna take the MR2 to work tomorrow. Just, well, I can't keep it in the garage anyways, might as well take it to work. And Acura sucks. I hate driving the thing anymore. So this actually might be kind of fun. Besides the fact that the one tire keeps going low, actually both front tires keep going low. I'm gonna have them fixed here. This one keeps going low. There must be a small pinhole, so I'm gonna have it patched and do it right. So the tires, I can sell everything off when this is all said and done, because I'm not gonna sell someone bad tires. That's just a dickhead move. I wouldn't do that. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm probably gonna get a bunch of flack for this. I don't ever use a torque wrench. It's usually about 1 or 2 ugga-duggas for me, and that's tight. That was like 4 or 5 Ugga Duggas. Got the car back down on the ground now. I actually had a couple people comment like how I jack up the car. I guess obviously there's a couple ways. Some people are going to agree with it, some people aren't. There's pinch points on the car where if you look in the book, it tells you can jack it up from those spots. Some cars I don't recommend that with, like the MR2, just from reading about it, they have really weak pinch welds. Even though the book actually says we can jack it up from those pinch points, I don't really trust it. Looking underneath of it, I can see the one rail has been bent up from it. So there's a couple other spots you can jack it up on those cars. But for the Supra, I always use the pinch welds, and I've done it, I'm not kidding you, probably 300 times, if not more than that now. Had the car for 7 years, and I've had this thing up and down a million times. Hell, the day I put coilovers on it, I probably had it up and down 15 times to get the coilovers perfect. That day sucked, by the way. I hated that day. But I mean, I've never had an issue. They're not deforming in any way. They still look fine, and that's after me doing it a bunch of times and however many times the people that owned it before me did it. Now, if you have something where you can actually get to the physical pumpkin or get it underneath, I forget where you can do it on the front. If you can get to the actual cross member and jack up from there, you would need one, a very long jack. Number two, that's at something very low, especially for as low as my car is with like the front lip and stuff, being on coilovers. But those are only your real options. There's a couple points then underneath the car too where it's beyond, I guess, be the frame rails itself. You could do it from there. I actually don't like that either because that's actually a little bit softer than the pinch welds, because the pinch welds is actually where you're having multiple layers of metal come together. So I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, I don't want to say yes, do it this way, yes, do it that way, just because everyone has their own special way or certain way of going about it. Gotta have me an ice cold Keystone, boys. Oh, by the way, Corey, the nice gentleman that came by, the cop, he likes Keystone too. America. So got it back down on the ground now. I did get a nice update today. Travis from Beaver's Auto Body here in town. I gotta be honest, like, he's been fantastic. For the first time in my life, out of any body shop, and I've had one other good body shop, the first time ever though, he actually gives me updates saying, hey, here's where the car's at right now, sends me pictures. Nor have I've never asked for pictures. I've never bothered him because I know how body work can be, but out of his own goodwill, he sends me updates, takes pictures of everything, showing me what's going on. Pretty freaking awesome. Like, I've never dealt with a body shop that has been that cool, so it's pretty nice to finally find a place that actually treats you better than I ever expected. I really have a low standard for body shops, and nothing against you guys if you do it, but I think you guys know it has, the industry as itself has a really bad habit of promising one thing and then delivering another, unfortunately. There is some fantastic shops out there that aren't like that, but then there's a lot of shops that unfortunately are. I know I'm probably gonna get roasted for this part too, but I'm really liking the whole wingless look. The more and more I look at it, the more and more the wingless look is really growing on me. And for anyone out there who doesn't own a Supra, if you've ever looked at the rear trunk of one, we actually have a pretty severe lip stock. That's why, like, in stock form, it actually look half decent because the rear trunk actually has a pretty severe metal lip to it, or built into the trunk. That's why when the guys add duck bills, all that kind of cool stuff, it actually forms and flows very well with the body lines. Honestly, in my opinion, in stock form, I'm not probably get burned for this, but I think it should have, from the factory, had something more along those lines, maybe something that wrapped around, maybe a little bit edgier. The big wing looks cool too, and I love it. That's why I'm putting it back on. But I think from the factory, it should have had something that was maybe a little less drastic. But again, that's what makes a Supra the Supra. That, I mean, when you drove down the road, you saw that wing, you knew exactly what it was. I'm always taking such good care of my cars too. Like, I always take such good care of the MR2 or the Supra. This, look at the front of the bumper. I don't care like two shits about this car. Like, literally do not care about this vehicle at all. I literally just put oil in it because it's burning oil so bad. And I haven't changed the oil in a little while either. So, you know, just dump some oil in it. It'll be all right. It's a Honda, right? Just a K24. Although, we'll say, you know, people say like Honda and Toyota are the same. So far, honestly, the Honda's probably been the worst vehicle I've ever owned. That's including, I mean, I've had nothing but Toyotas, but coming from a family of big body Chevys and my parents always having GMC Chevy vehicles, this has been by far the worst. The door locks all had to be replaced. The K24 burns oil by 3,000 miles. Mind you, Acura says you're not supposed to bring it until 5,000. I'm out of oil. Like, there's nothing on the dipstick. after 3,000 miles, and I bought it with 22,000 miles and it was that way. There's a recall on it, just never got around to doing it. I plan on getting rid of the car here shortly anyway, so it never really was an issue. But it's a really shitty quality car, I will say this. I mean, the K24, all that stuff's been around for a while. The sunroof stopped working one time. I had to get that fixed. I've had like a multitude of issues with it, and I don't get what the big thing is with them. And maybe it's just I had bad luck of the draw, but in my opinion, Honda does not make the greatest vehicle in the world. But hey, what do I know? I do have some stuff coming for the MR2 though, guys. Hux Racing has been kind enough. They're going to send me out well, let me show you here. So if you look here with my car, I have this. This is the stock prop to keep the hood open, or I guess, what do you guys call it? You call it the hood? I guess you call it the hood. So you use that to keep the hood open, okay? Well, a lot of guys go to a gas shock and they mount on the other side. Again, you're mounting it up at the same point. The only difference is you don't have to manually do it. It pops open, you have it. Great. Problem is, just like this one here, when you're working on stuff, you're trying to get to a lot of stuff up in those areas, it makes it a pain. Hux Racing makes a nice billet piece. I shouldn't say billet, it's aluminum and stainless welded together. Very nice. That actually mounts down here. Let me come over here for you guys. It actually mounts right down in here. Mounts to these two bolts and comes up on these two bolts. I'll show you guys. I'm going to do a step-by-step how to install, how it all works, etc. I'm pretty excited for that because I love simplicity. This thing is so simple and easy to use. And I'll talk to so many people and they don't even know it exists. Like, they're like, oh, that's new and neat. I'm like, dude, it's been around for months. Like, where have you been? I'm not even an MR2 guy and I knew about it. And I'm just surprised how many people have no idea that this product exists. One, it never goes bad. You know, a gas shock over time eventually is going to wear down and go bad. Like the one in the Supra, they're already starting to lose their hydraulic goodness to them, as I'll put it. This will never go bad. It'll last you a lifetime. And the pricing on it's not bad either. Once again, I'll go over all that once I get the product in and I'll go over in detail. But I'm pretty stoked on it because I love little things that I would have never thought of, and it's just like little engineering marvels to me, and I'm like, damn, that's a smart idea. Why didn't I come up with that? But that someone else did, and I think it's very cool. On that subject though, one thing that makes me laugh is we as Americans love and we pride ourselves in our work, and we hate China. We do. I mean, as what would Trump say right now? China. With that fucking stupid face he makes. And no, I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican, blah, blah, blah. Just let me get to my point. So I don't understand how people can say like, oh, built in America, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I posted about this product, I was interested in it a little while back. I had the first couple comments were like, guys were like, thanks for posting this up. Now I can copy it. Dude, that's literally what the Chinese do, and you're the same people that sit there and bitch about it. I'm like, just blew my mind. I'm like, you fucking dickheads. You're literally doing what I saw that same person bitching about the day before. Just such terrible hypocrites. Sorry, that's my little rant there, but it's like, if you guys are gonna sit there and bitch and complain and say China does this, the Taiwanese take these jobs, you're doing the same damn thing to this poor guy. He took the time, came up with a cool idea. You weren't smart enough to come up with it, so now you're gonna knock it off, try to do it for cheaper because you didn't have to take the engineering time to come up with the idea. Just stupid stuff like that pisses me off, but I digress, and let's finish off this video. So guys, as usual, thank you very much. Coming up at the end of this week, I'm hoping to have everything for you. Actually, I'm not hoping. I should be getting a call tomorrow or Thursday. I'll have my hats. It will be snapbacks and flex fit hats, and I'll have the new t-shirts in, which these t-shirts are much, much nicer. They will last you a long time. Like I said, polyester and a little bit of cotton in there, so it has a little bit of breathability. You guys are gonna be super stoked on this. So do me a favor, go check out my Instagram and Facebook page down below. I'm always posting stuff way ahead of time. If you wanna see a sneak peek for my videos, go check them out. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Peace!